133 pounds, the two-time reigning national champion, undefeated, ranked #1 in the country, Roman Bravo Young, and Dylan Ragusin for the Wolverines. He's ranked 12th in the country. These two met in the duel last year. It was 8-1, Roman Bravo Young. That was inside the Chrysler Center. Penn State won that match 29-6. The Nittany Lions have won 11 straight, 13 of 14. Last time Michigan won in this series was 31-6 in Ann Arbor back on Valentine's Day of 2009.
I'm with you, Shane. That's just a fantastic looking Michigan uniform, right there. I mentioned the weight class was wide open there with Medley's performance there. Of course, we know Spencer Lee's at the top of the heap right there, but after that, it kind of widens out. So here's the man, right? The personification of cool in a wrestling singlet.
Roman Bravo Young up the stairs and onto the Resolites. Coming off a 14-5 win over Taylor Lamont. That was 2 weeks ago in Madison. Took his record to 7-0. In 6 matches, 103 points for the Nittany Lion, averaging 17 points a match. And you said it, Jim, he is just float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
You know, when he first came on the scene as a freshman, you saw that acrobatic counter that he made to his single leg, and it was, you know, the internet sensation there, the way he was able to hit a backflip off of that. But, you know, he's become one of the more basic wrestlers that there's probably ever been. I'm not saying he, you know, he doesn't need the athletic counters anymore, because he does a great job of keeping guys off his arms and all that stuff. That he drops his hips on their shots, and he's become a solid rider, and he's won some really great matches against, you know, the top-notch competition. You know, the matches that he used to have against DeSanto. You know, it's become more basic the better has gotten. He hasn't really, you know, had to do all that high flyer stuff, but he's capable of it. He has all the skills to be able to do that. His wrestling has got more championship oriented.
Ragusin, a 2-on-1 from Elk Grove Village, Illinois, wrestled at Montini Catholic, one of 3 wrestlers in this Michigan lineup from Montini Catholic. A shot from RBY. Whizzer from Ragusin does a nice job there to square up against the Nittany Lion. We're scoreless. 1:25 left in this first period. Medley at tech fault at 1:25. Wolverines out to a quick 5-0 lead.
Good reactions there by Ragusin. You see Roman Bravo Young basically barely had that leg and is able to follow it up here. So he's doing a good job of moving his feet. He's anticipating that shot coming in. Only a minute left in the first period, so he's wrestling pretty well. Doing a nice job of tying those arms up, so that reach right there just far enough away and has enough power in his stance to be able to get Roman Bravo Young off his legs.
Ragusin working that 2-on-1. Dylan, a 2-time Greco World Team member. 2017 and 2019, 45 seconds here in the first.
There, right there. Just a good enough job here with getting his feet back here. Nice attempt there by Roman Bravo Young. Snaps the head, gets another quick angle. This is where the crowd plays an important part here. There's a lot of attempts by Roman Bravo Young. Good work here by Ragusin staying in the match. He's presenting himself, but now he's on the outer third. I expect a stalling call.
There it is. Single leg here from RBY.
And here's that position we always talk about here, Shane. You can see how Ragusin is favoring, trying to get to the edge of the mat. You're actually making it a little bit easier. He's going to get the takedown there. Wow.
A takedown inside of 10 seconds. Just the second takedown in dual meets that RBY has surrendered.
Look at it.
Look at this.
Yeah, take a look. You know, and look for a second there that Ragusin was looking to lean out of balance here, kind of pull RBY off the mat here with him. As we take a look at the opportunity here.
So this is not a challenge. The referees are reviewing this.
Yeah, take a look. See, he's leaning out, all right? In the critical moment, Ragusin basically comes back into him, all right? Understands where he is, gets that wrist tied up here. Now he moves into him there, right? And none of that kind of, like I said, he kind of okey-doked him there thinking he was going off the mat, and he drove back in. Counter it like you're in the middle. Right here, he makes the commitment to come forward and put pressure back into Roman Bravo Young. And I think that's really close. But was that leg stay in, that left leg stay in? I think it did.
And keep in mind, it does not have to be on the mat. It's got to be in that cylinder, that infinite cylinder. That's exactly
Great call. Great call.
what was just verbalized, so it's 2-0 Ragusin. That's a huge takedown, now 5 seconds left. Quick roll off the whistle from Roman Bravo Young.
Pretty impressive.
2-0 scored in the second period.
Pretty impressive, Shane, that he stayed in there with that technique. He ended up, again, he looked like he was kind of favoring going to the outside in a critical moment. Drove back into Roman Bravo Young, kind of caught him off guard there.
Good breakdown right off the whistle from Ragusin.
Gets the leg in on the right side.
Roman Bravo Young has won 43 straight matches.
And a nice job by Bravo Young getting a little elevation as he gets his head up there, that scramble situation. He steps out of that leg ride, ties the score up. So now he comes back to the other side. Beautiful job.
So quick.
Misdirection, you know, which made that a lot quicker. Made him think he was attacking one side. He really committed to that. It was almost at the end, right there at the fingertips behind the knee, and then switched off to come to the single to the other side.
An escape and a takedown here early second period gives Roman Bravo Young his first lead, 3-2. Now he's going to work on top, and we've seen this with him over the years. He's slick on his feet, but man, he can keep you down too.
He really has improved in this position. It's really made all the difference in the world here in those big matches with Dayton Fix in the finals, being able to keep him in down position. So made a huge difference, huge strides in the top position since he first came to Penn State.
Ragusin last March in Lincoln, third at the Big Tens. He was 2-2 in Detroit at the NCAA Championships, round of 12 guy. Had a really solid year, led the team with 24 wins.
And you know, I expect RBY to try to keep him down here in this position. Try to take a little bit more of the start, get some effort out of Ragusin. If you can counter it, make him work a little harder.
He's got that near ankle scooped.
Yep. And you see a lot of that from the line wrestlers here. So that position where they come up in the quad pod, stand up right there. You'll scoop that leg right there, put a lot of pressure down on that, get that right knee down right there, and now come back the other direction here with, that's good work. Controlling the hips all the way through, good mat return.
Final 15 seconds in the second period, a productive one for Roman Bravo Young, who trailed at 2-0 after the first period. And he is going to take riding time over a minute.
Good job of following. Let's take a look at that takedown here. Beautiful misdirection on this. He's got his fingertips behind the knees right there, but then he comes back, and right when you think he's going to come back to his feet, he comes the other side there. You mentioned the quickness, but you know, when you can make the guy think he's going you're going one direction, you come back the other here, great work. It makes you look quicker than when you really are.
Roman Bravo Young, three-time Big Ten finalist, two-time Big Ten champion, beating Austin DeSanto of Iowa. You talked about some of those great matches earlier, Jim, with him and the Hawkeye. Ragusin to his feet.
Looking for the mat returns. Again, sagging type mat returns. He hasn't taken any starch out of Ragusin. There's a lot of good energy down there below. But he's got to try to keep his wrist free, turn back in. Maybe even look for a two-point move right here. But again, putting that leg in, but it's not a cross-body ride. It's basically just scooping the leg up right there in that position. So if he does come to his feet, he'll jam him forward with that.
At that near wrist, Ragusin head on the Resolite, trying to work up.
And everybody asks, well, what do you do with this position? Number one, you try not to get your wrist captured that bad, but you got to look up into him there. Throw that ankle right out to the sky right there. Turn into him. Any pressure away is Bravo Young can handle that. Scoop the leg. Watch the mat return right here. He'll sag on the hips there and scoop the leg. Putting him on his hands. That good front trip action off that quad pod stand-up is great.
They're wrestling on the edge. 40 seconds left. Roman Bravo Young looking for his 63rd win of his career. Just a couple of losses the last few years.
You know, and this is why Roman Bravo Young's so tough to beat in the championship brackets, because he can finish, finish the matches, finish the periods in the top position if he chooses.
And that return inside of 30 seconds.
why he did that here. He's able to go ahead and control him at the hips. A lot of times it makes a difference where you put your lock on it, and that lock was right below the belt line at the hip level.
Talking about his 62nd victory, that being the last 4 years. Career-wise, he's at 86, knocking on the door of 100. Roman Bravo Young trailed it 2-0 after the first period, but finds a way to win. 44 straight for the two-time reigning national champion. RBY doubling up Ragusin 4-2, and the Nittany Lions on the board here at 133. You gotta have a band at the dual meet. Here's Amine at 165 pounds for the Wolverines, and Alex Facundo for the Nittany Lions. Amine, a nice win last Sunday in Ann Arbor. Here's Facundo. This is Facundo's first Big Ten dual meets of his career. Last time he wrestled was back on December 20th in a 4-2 loss to David Carr of Iowa State. Here we go at 165. Second half is underway.
Put your hands.
Man, I love that quad box, Jim.
Yeah, brings back great memories of talking about a lot of wrestling, Big Ten championships. So take a look at Amine here. I tell you what, the tournament that he had last year, beating Alex Marinelli, I think it was in the quarterfinals there with that blow-through double leg that he has. You know, he does a nice job of when he finishes, he tries to get to those knees with his hands and then goes ahead, has his head right in the chest, and it's just almost impossible to stop. It's a freight train double.
He beat Dean Hamady 5-3, scored a takedown in the final 5 seconds to win it. Amine, Big Ten finalist, lost to Alex Marinelli, who of course won his 4th Big Ten title for Iowa, but finished 4th. Went to the tournament as a 6th seed at the national tournaments. Lost to Keegan O'Toole in the semis 4-0, and ended up losing to the top seed Evan Wick of Cal Poly 3-2 to stand 4th on the podium. No score, just over a minute into this first period.
Fingers. Stay out of them.
You know, guy that was kind of on and off last year. You know, in and out of the lineup, it seemed like, and you know, just at the end of the, you know, that last month of the season, he bring it all together. And a lot of it was just what you see right here, just good, tough hand fighting here, staying in matches here, giving himself time, wearing the guy down. Facundo, you know, his first opportunity, he's going to find that he's going to get his headgear rattled quite a bit here with wrestling Amine. He's just going to come at you hard, tie up your wrist, good snaps, all with the purpose of trying to blow you over with that double leg.
These guys know each other, a couple of Michigan preps. Amine from Brighton, Michigan, Detroit Catholic Central High School. Facundo from Essexville, Michigan. Beautiful. Look at that.
Nice low-level attack. You want to probably try to stay with them a little bit. We're here with the mat return. Buy yourself a little bit of time. You know, Amine, not necessarily known as a rider, you know, but you know, as a youngster, you want to go out and give yourself as much time as you can.
But he's really stingy on top.
Yep, he is.
Tough on top with the mat returns. Facundo, 4-time champ from Davison High School.
1, 2.
You hear the counts. Gets to a 2 count, and that drop down count, Facundo working up. It's been a really good first period for Facundo.
Nice job there by Facundo, staying with that, staying low around the hips if he can with that hand fighting. Really important sequence here, Shane. Young guy trying to pull the upset. This match is now in his favor with that early takedown.
Be huge if he could ride him for 37 seconds. That will be a difficult task.
A little quarter turn there by Amine. He's able to go ahead and cover the fingers there, keep his feet moving, make the turn back in. So good escape, answering escape here by Facundo, or excuse me, by Amine.
Makes it a 2-1 match.
Fingers.
Hard snap there by the Wolverine Amine.
Comes right back to his offense. Facundo here, he's pushing him back. Nice aggression.
2-1 Facundo striking first in the first period.
Yeah, take a look at this low-level attack here. See this right elbow here? Actually, it's his left elbow right there. It gets below the knee right there. And his arm is parallel to the mat here, following it up here with a little bit better angle. Gets both legs.
Claw right off the whistle from the Nittany Lion.
Good job of keeping his feet moving. That's one thing. You got guys that make the lazy turn where they just kind of just lazily come back into him. The guy's back into your leg. That time, Amine kept his feet moving. So he's back in this match. Riding time not a factor at this point. So
that quick escape was big. Riding time stalled at 46 seconds for Facundo.
See how Amine is pushing the head away, all right?
I'll take that one.
Pushing the eyes there. So he's looking to push the head away a little bit, and then one of these times he'll go ahead and act like he's pushing on the head, fall back into a great position to hit this double leg.
I hesitate to say this, Jim, because I'm not positive, but I'm going to. I think these two met in a state final and Facundo won. But don't quote me on that one. Right now, all the Michigan wrestling fans are either yelling nice job or they're telling me that I'm wrong. It's one or the other.
So work on the head right now here by Amine. You can tell he's serious about getting to a leg right now. Intensity is picked up, his vision. You know.
Facundo a takedown, pair of escapes for Amine. Locked at 2. 55 seconds to go in this second period.
Get out of him.
The spacing is good here for Facundo. Great reach. Right, and you get that stall warning against Amine. He just drops back into a leg shot right there. Now he's got the leg split right here. Amine able to go ahead and come back. Great defense on the feet right there by Cam Amine.
Spectacular defense. Facundo was in good shape.
We've seen that from both teams, particularly in that match at 157 where guys were getting in and doing everything they can, sprawling, getting the legs back. Not rolling through, getting to an ankle pass situation. Trying to get back to neutral.
At this level, guys fight hard every position. Don't give an inch.
Good reaction there by Facundo to that post shot right there. Head to the outside single.
Goes underhook on the right side. And the second period comes to a close.
Let's take a look at some good defense here right now. So he gets the leg right down below here. Harasses him here, locks in the crotch. Look at the flexibility, but he gets all the way back here, slides that bottom leg under, get to a good position, gets the ankles out wide, toes out wide. Stops that second move of Facundo.
Quick claw off the whistle.
You know, remember, Amine has already been warned for stalling, so that really limits your ability to kind of control him in this period. So I don't really expect a committed ride at this point by Amine. Just kind of playing with it right there, gives him the escape. And I think that stall warning has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, because the last thing you want is a stall call and an escape.
Yep. So again, look at Amine trying to work from space, and I think Facundo's done a nice job of going ahead and over collar right there. And Amine takes that big step into him here. He's willing to go ahead and drop and commit to a shot below the knee.
Amine trails it by 1.
Got fingers.
He's not reaching on him right now. Keeping his hands down low.
You know, Facundo reminds me of a little bit, Jim, and I know he's a smaller weight class. Reminds me of Quentin Wright a little bit.
Yeah, right, it does. He's built like Quentin. Right there, straight on double. You knew it was going to come. Now a counter shot there. Now here's an advantage situation that maybe Amine can do some damage here with it, but if you're going to be a college wrestler, you've got to keep guys from going around behind you. Gets his left knee up, controlling the elbow, posts his hand right there in a good position. When Amine releases the pressure, he's right into a great stance. Not much time left.
We saw sudden victory at 157.
Slide by.
Slide by.
He's got to get that leg up in the air. Now he does look like he got the hand down for a period of time there.
No takedown yet.
Yep.
There's a roll. And look at this. Facundo now with a single leg. He corrals both ankles. And he scores the takedown. The brick is on the mat.
Well, I think they've got to, this may all for naught if they call that a takedown. It'll go back to the action. potentially. They called it relatively quick, or they threw the brick out relatively quick. Yeah, I'm going to go back to that. Was it a rear standing takedown situation? Or Amine, right down here, he clears the leg. I think that left hand may have been on the mat.
It's not rear standing there because he was to the side. It's got to be pocket to pocket.
No,
that's how it's been described to me.
Yeah, but when he's got all the way back behind, I think the left hand was still trailing on the mat. So let's take a look at this one more time. Right here, left hand's on the mat when that clears, and I think he is quite a ways around behind him, so it'll be a tough call. Roll through, great job by Facundo with that roll through. He gets right back into it here, boy.
And that's the point you make, Jim. Yep. Amine kind of darting for that edge, and when you do that, your ankles get together and they corral him up.
Exactly. Well, you're learning this.
You've made that point this year more than usual, and we see it all the time.
It just plays out in the highest situations too. I mean, it's just so easy to go ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and kick out of it. When you go ahead and do it, you bring your ankles together, but this is a very tough call. Yeah.
Taking some time to sort this one out.
Kurt Frost on the right, Jim Ravello on the left.
Got it? After review, we got 2 takedowns, hand and knee down.
Yes. He was all the way behind him, in my opinion. I think that was the correct call.
You're down.
Right, they'll go all the way back. They got to get the time figured out right now. That's confirmed that was a takedown.
So Amine gets the takedown.
Take one more good look at it here. See how the left hand in this situation, right? And he tries to make this big switch maneuver, right? Amine goes all the way behind him right here. That left hand is still trailing on the mat. You see the fingers were actually on the mat. That counts as the third supporting point here. That's a takedown.
Amine, a big takedown. Final 10 seconds in the match with Hamady. Won it last Sunday. And another late takedown.
Well, I think there's got to be more time left on the clock there than 3 seconds, and that's what they're trying to fix here. But again, as quickly as Facundo has been able to get out on these switch maneuvers from the bottom position, it's just no way over.
Here we go, final 20 seconds.
You love it right there. That's the way you get out from underneath right there. Come back into it, make the double overhook move right there, and you're back in it.
4-4. Exciting final 30 seconds of regulation. And let's go to sudden victory here at 165 pounds.
Why not? Great job underneath. You have 20 seconds right there. That's a part of it. It's tough to get Gail's blood pressure up here, but I'm sure that was a moment where it was there. But Facundo's just did a nice job of measuring that double leg. You know, that straight on shot that everybody's in the building knows coming at some point in time.
4-4.
It's a really tough sequence there to give up that escape. Now you're back in the neutral position here for Amine. You had it. You had the match right where you wanted to have it. 20-second ride. But you got to live in the now right now and look a way to get your shot off. And I really like just the presence that Facundo has right now and the distance he's keeping, but he's not too far away, all right? He's not too far away. He can get his hands on Amine if he needs to. He's really looking for Amine to take that big step, and maybe he can attack below the knee. Already 1 minute gone in sudden victory. There's a shot. Straight on shot. Fought off really well with that left-handed underhook.
Facundo looking to win in sudden victory as his teammate Levi Haynes did at 157. Here's an underhook from Amine. Now it's cleared.
You don't want to get caught chasing Amine here. Amine is definitely looking for that straight-on shot. This match goes into the tiebreaker there. There's a shot there by Facundo. He gets his head to the outside. Fought off real well by that deep underhook here on the left side.
And it's hard to get a really good attack in on Amine.
Again, just a great job of measuring by Facundo. Not too far away, just in the right spot. Now he drops again on that leg. Yep, one more time. So you have enough of a go behind, but look at this stance position here. Hand on the mat, 1 foot up. Got that elbow tied up.
Now we'll go to the 2:30-second tiebreakers.
As quickly as Facundo has been able to get out from underneath, I think this might be an advantage. Look at those.
See Cale Sanderson and Casey Cunningham.
The eyes of Cunningham, right? The intensity.
Now this is where riding super critical. Facundo will go on bottom first.
Comes back to that, look for him to go ahead and fight hands for a little bit here, but we'll come over the top. When he comes over the top, this time measured well, now into a roll. Boy, he's dangerous.
Impressive escape. So he takes the lead 5-4.
Guys catching their breath here at the end. Now it's Amine's opportunity to take the down position.
So Amine will go on bottom. Riding time at 10 seconds. Again, this is not sudden victory. It's wrestled in its entirety to 30 seconds.
Yeah, and remember that Facundo has not been called for stalling, so he could go out and hang on a leg here at a critical time in the match if he wants to. Nice mat return attempt. He keeps his right foot in there. He's got to get a little elevation.
Solid awareness there by Facundo.
He's got 4 seconds in his favor right now.
And these situations with 16 seconds, this might be 3 5-second goes. Listen to this crowd inside Bryce Jordan Center.
Strategy-wise, though, he has an opportunity to go ahead and drop down and maybe get the stall call.
Yeah, take the 5 seconds off. You'll take that exchange. Ball right off the whistle. Facundo looking for his 10th win and his first Big Ten victory. Final seconds. Facundo's got the riding time advantage. And Alex Facundo, 6-5. Starocci from Erie, Pennsylvania, Cathedral Prep, 3-time finalist, 2-time state champion. And Jim, this guy's some kind of tough.
He is. I've said this before, but I just think he's probably one of the best competitors I've seen in the last 40 years. I mean, just a guy that just will never give up anything. Finds himself into on a single leg on Max Maylor pretty easily.
Doesn't take him long. Right. Good balance here from Maylor.
Yeah, Maylor's an athlete. Beautiful trip.
They crash down to the mat 2-0. And that is the 50th takedown in dual meets for Carter Starocci. Starocci 8-0, 7 bonus point victories. What a career. In dual meets, 28-1. Big Ten duels, he's 12-1. Had that classic final in 2021, beating Michael Kimmer just a couple of weeks after the Hawkeye beat him in the Big Ten final. Then last March, in a battle of national champions, in the first tiebreaker, 6-5 over Mekhi Lewis. Like a dog on a bone, right back in with a single leg.
Yep, does a nice job of measuring that ankle pick here by Max Maylor and takes it way up. But one more time. I'll tell you what. he goes as high as he possibly can. Full elbow extension right there on Starocci's part here to be able to take Maylor down. Great flexibility there, but think he understood that the crowd enjoyed that first takedown here and went all the way with it there on the second.
Yeah, he puts on a show. Riding time nearing a minute already in this first period.
Still alive.
A lot of confidence. It oozes from Carter Starocci, and understandably so. See the blood above his right eye.
We got blood, guys.
You heard the oohs and ahs on the first takedown here. This time, Starocci decides to go all the way. Look at the extension now when he decides to go up on this elbow. All the way up. He's going to lock his arms up. It took all of that to be able to take down Max Maylor. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I thought his foot was going to touch the ceiling.
Yeah, where you had to go all the way up. I mean, you have to be able to have that technique down to begin with, but you have to be wrestling as a hugely flexible guy.
I'm not sure who I'm more impressed with there,
Yes.
Starocci or Maylor.
Yeah, most guys are not going to get that.
Max Maylor, he's from a small high school in Wisconsin, Highland High School, wrestled at Iowa Grand Highland. It's a combined program, at least it was when he wrestled.
Hey, somebody puts my ankle on their shoulder, I'm making a business decision, right? Yeah, let's take a look at this. This is where, way before this, I made a business decision to find a safe place to land. That's complete 180-degree flexibility there on Maylor's part.
Max Maylor wrestled for Ryan Allen. Ryan Allen was a three-time national champion at UW La Crosse for head coach Dave Malachek. Coach Malachek was an All-American at Northern Iowa. So Starocci gives the escape 4-2 match.
Down fingers. Down fingers.
Gosh, his movement, Jim, is just so fluid.
Well, you know what? Maybe, okay, but it's getting better. But again, the thing that impressed me about him is just the sheer, when he gets in on something, he doesn't let it go. He keeps himself in a good position. Nice job of sprawling back. All right, on that, should be able to collect the points pretty quickly here because there's nothing going on that switch. So
that third takedown will take riding time over a minute.
Look for him to work in the top position, try to collect that wrist underneath. Goes pretty much a one-on-one wrist ride. Now he gets an arm behind the back.
Hammerlock position with that right arm of Maylor.
Gonna go ahead and thread the needle, go ahead and collect the wrist. Nice job of Maylor. See how he puts that wrist out, elbow in and wrist out. We talk about that all the time. If you can do that against a couple-time national champion, but the problem is he left the left wrist inside and elbow out, and it's easy for Starocci to collect.
Stay legal.
State Farm, State of Success. Is Carter Starocci, and dual meets on his feet. He has scored 52 takedowns and has not allowed a single one. And I'm not so sure he gives up one, Jim, all season long. I know you and I are on the same page.
I think we are on that. It's going to be a heck of a job to do that. And of course, there's talent in this weight class to be able to do that. Guys like Mekhi Lewis and
Mikey Labriola from Nebraska.
Exactly. So, but you're going to have to get that feel for him, and they're have to be willing to go ahead and wrestle the whole match. You know, high pace, be able to get out from underneath.
Big Ten 1-2 in the rankings with Starocci and the aforementioned Labriola. For the top 10, Ethan Smith of Ohio State and Edmund Ruth of Illinois joining Starocci and Labriola. In the top 10 rankings are at 174. Leg in. Power half being cranked on by Starocci.
Well, this is one thing we've seen, the flexibility already of Maylor. Have to see it again here, probably in the upper body. It's a tough position.
This is punishing.
It is. So you have the shoulder turned at a decent angle right there.
You hear the counts.
Now he tries to get his hips back up here. Can he go ahead and follow through with that half Nelson? He comes all the way over the top.
Starocci looking for the fall, and he's got it, his 7th pin of his career. 184 pounds, another national champion. It's Aaron Brooks, top ranked in the country. And Matt's Finesilver, ranked 9th, coming over from Duke. Had some eligibility left, so came to Ann Arbor. Grad students from Greenwood Village, Colorado, Cherry Creek High School. 3-time finalist, won a state title as a junior. It's a while back for Finesilver. And Aaron Brooks, 2020 Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Couple-time national champion and Big Ten champ.
Love the way Brooks just, right here, these committed level changes right now that he drops down, and sometimes he gets a guy to step into him. At that time, it gets to a leg. But his second move off of his shot, and just basically bowling over an underhook here. Finesilver trying to go ahead and create a little bit of action there. Nice job of fighting it here, but it's going to be a takedown for Brooks. That's what he has. He has that awareness of how to counter those roll-throughs. It gets to a leg, anticipating that roll-through on that was really nice job there by Brooks. As I said before here, watch this elbow level change with that elbow. Really gets the man moving with it. Gets him stepping into his shots.
Active with his feet and hands.
Yep. There's no wasted motion. His hands and feet move together. There's that reach-in shot that he has. See how his laces are flat right now. Nothing for Finesilver to reach into. Comes over the top here, but he's going to try to sit out, maybe create a little hip separation there, make a little bit better turn, but Finesilver staying with that trapped arm right there. I think Brooks is done, yep.
Stalemate. Brooks, 3-time Big Ten finalist. Of course, had that match with Miles Amine of Michigan. Miles plucked to make the Big Tens, and then at the NCAAs, Brooks getting the better end of the Wolverine 5-3 to pick up his second NCAA title. 60 seconds left in this first period.
That's not the only time another team has won the, in this Nittany Lion run of national titles. Not the only time that a team has, won the Big Ten championship from them. But, that's been what you'd have to say that Cael Sanderson, that coaching in that last 12 days of the season, I don't know of anybody that actually compares. The guys that got beat before diving in on the double leg there is Brooks. And he gets some separation to make the turn.
Puts him on a hip.
Scoops the bottom leg. Now he's looking to clear his head or threaten him. Right? Good job. But again, we're talking about that. The adjustments, just the attitude, the coaching that Cael Sanderson and his staff have done in that last 12 days of the season have just been phenomenal.
Brooks' lone defeat this season to Marcus Coleman of Iowa State, lost 9-7.
Got caught with a big 6-point move in that match and wasn't able to come back from it. That made it fairly close. But there's the man, a guy that still spends a lot of time on the mat. A lot of guys, not only just his team, but the guys that we saw lining up on the mat there.
Brooks, a couple of takedowns in the first period, up by 3. Works to his feet, squares up, escapes.
No change!
Actually, they say no change, and now there's the escape. Brooks from Hagerstown, Maryland. North Hagerstown High School, 4-time champ.
Offense!
A lot of winning. Look at that, single leg.
Been blocked up there. Coming to an underhook there. Get the weight on the hands.
Stay so patient.
Again, what you're looking for is a roll through. You don't want guys to roll through, but you anticipate that by sprawling. You get your feet back, and get your weight in your heels. You really can't do that. So, you're looking for balance when you come up on your feet on those single legs.
Penn State, Jim, under Cael Sanderson, their best team at the national tournament in terms of points was in 2017, 146.5 points. That, of course, was the year they had 5 national champions. Dare I say this team might score more than 146.5. I think it can.
Well, it can, and given the fact that, you know, we're going to see a lot in a week, all right, as far as this matchup between Iowa and Penn State. You know, the thing about what they have, though, is that the guys that are either returning national champions or ranked #1 like Kerkvliet, you've got this chance to separate just because of the quality, the way the tournament is scored. It's just going to be a little different than a dual meet. I think Iowa can come in and do you know, do a pretty good job, and in the matchups anyway, the way it's, you take a look at it, but just the improvement that happens during the course, the last 6 weeks of the season, you can make a real strong case for the point differential between 1 and 2.
There's a guy that'll score some points, two-time national champion RBY.
But going back to my point, the point differential record was set in 1986 when Iowa won the national championship, had 6 finalists and 5 champions. You could see that record might be in jeopardy, or
Neutral.
It's never been anywhere close. It's like 72.5 points or something.
Yeah, that
some
97 Iowa team had 6 finalists, 5 champs.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the separation, and that will be interesting. But with the development we're seeing here from Haynes, Facundo.
Look at this, he's got a cradle, at least he had it momentarily. And Brooks with his counters, the timing is impeccable.
Yeah, I think, to me, the most impressive thing is that his second part of his penetration shot, he lowers his level to get to the leg, and then he just makes another little slide, lead knee into it, gets himself in better position.
Of course, next Friday night, it's Penn State and Iowa.
And all the things we were just talking about there, as far as there, see the little adjustment there that he made right there? It's just a little secondary penetration move. He didn't stay flat right there. Got himself in a better position to score.
Live.
Aaron Brooks, 55-3 in his career, 31 bonus point victories, and working on number 32 here on this Friday night.
Offense.
Guys wrestling ear to ear, half a minute in the third. Ooh and ah. Spectacular. That was an interesting reaction. I mean, people just gave the clap as like, whoa.
Those were the reactions that Cale Sanderson used to get when he was on the mat. They would just take people on a little journey of, ooh, ah, yeah.
Well, it's like you're watching this going, is this real? Are my eyes playing tricks on me?
How is this so easy, all right? I think he's got a little bit of that in him. And you get the golf clap afterwards.
With the riding time, 14-4, major decision. Dominating win for Aaron Brooks at 184. Heavyweight, it is 1 versus 2. There's Levi Haynes. Greg Kerkvliet ranked #1 in the country. Mason Parris ranked 2nd. And something has got to give a pair of undefeateds to close this dual meet. These two Mets at the 2021 Big Ten Championships, Mason Parris with an 11-3 major, and then last year in 3 meetings, it was all Kerkvliet and Jim, pretty convincingly.
Yeah, he put up almost 9 points in almost each of those matches there, so in a couple of them anyway. And so, you know, it's up to Parris to kind of, you know, show that he's in this. But the guy that we saw as a freshman here at this weight class, Greg Kerkvliet, he's not that guy, right? Guy that wasn't probably feeling that well, but you see him right now at his size and his mobility, totally different situation, and it's very difficult for Parris basically to kind of just, you know, barrel roll him over here, get on top, and make it work. But there is a path for victory here for Parris. He's no slouch at all. I think he's healthier this year too. I think that was kind of under the radar here. A lot of people weren't talking about it here, but I think both guys are healthy. We're going to see the best of both of them.
Yeah, he was a little banged up heading into 2021. He kept him off the mat. Talked to Sean Bormetti. He said everybody's going through something. No excuses, but expect a better version this season. Here's Kerkvliet.
Nice low shot right there, and I think if you're Parris, you just want to keep the weight over the head right now and get a good start. But that's what Kerkvliet's able to do, is be able to attack below the knee there. That's a good sign for Parris, at least to get to neutral in that position, because that was a nice shot.
Think back to 2020 when Parris was 28-1. His only loss was to Gable-Steveson in the Big Ten Finals. Of course, the tournament got canceled. Comes back in 2021. Makes the Big Ten Final and the NCAA Final again, but that one guy, Gable-Steveson, in his way.
Right, and this is the position that basically, you know, if you come into college wrestling as kind of an inside tie, you know, barrel roll, fireman's carry guy, people are going to learn that you just got to stay out of that inside bicep tie. And I take a look at what Kerkvliet's doing. He's basically keeping that his right bicep free. See how he's wrist tying right there? See the battle? He's not going to do anything. He's going to let Parris back into his pacifier position where he can go ahead and get that. That's right there, that position. Elbow tie on one side, tying up the wrist on the other. It keeps Parris away from his offense. It's just something as simple as, you know, getting the tie that you want, making the other guy uncomfortable, getting ready to attack when he gets a little bit frustrated.
35 seconds to go in a scoreless first.
I will say this, that it turns into a 4-minute bout. I think the advantage doesn't really move to Parris, but it really improves his chances because he's a bear on the top position. Diving shot right there. Fought off well. Now he's got an underhook. Good position to drive through and attack, and he tried.
Scoreless after 3 minutes. Nebraska and Iowa. They are live right now on the Fox Sports app. And also want to let you know that Spencer Lee, we will have it here, right here on the Big Ten Network. You will not miss it. They'll be getting that duel at 125, so Spencer Lee will tow it in about 5 minutes. But they are live on the Fox Sports app. Iowa and Nebraska. It's a follow. Max Mirren leading the charge for the Hawkeyes. Parris starting this period on bottom.
Not able to get up here, not able to get any hand control. Now Kerkvliet sagging. He's like a 245-pound bag of rocks on one side of your body right there. So when you try to come up, you have to deal with that imbalance there. Gets him off balance.
Fast. Go green.
It's a good start. Hear the Kevin Jackson, Michigan coaching staff, talking about don't wait. Now Kerkvliet has a cross wrist ride, now into a 2-on-1. Fighting the hands right there, but you can see where they will scoop up that near leg. They'll spend time on that near leg. Nice job by Parris getting up to his feet on that committed head fulcrum right there by Kerkvliet. So
Parris with an escape leading at 1-0.
It's a good sign for Parris.
Fingers, guys.
Can he get to the tie that he wants to be able to attack? Right now you see Kerkvliet just basically keeping that wrist tied up. Notice he doesn't lean in and kind of go over a collar. He doesn't go to an elbow right there. That hand comes up. He's coming right to the wrist right there. The hand came up.
Good shot.
Follows it up with a low shot.
He's got an ankle.
He's got to get it a little bit more secure, but now he can drive in, come to his feet. Nice job by Parris stuffing the head to the outside. See if that slows down Kerkvliet, or if he still tries to move here, he's going to go hip in. If you have your head low, Shane, you want to get your hips into the man, but he doesn't want to go ahead and give up that crotch lift. So good action. But you see how he's grabbing that inside wrist and floating right into that low shot. Right here. Maybe he's looking to go to the other side now, Kerkvliet.
Late in the second period, 1 versus 2 in the country here at heavyweight. Big Ten with the top 4 heavyweights in the country. Kerkvliet, Parris, and of course Cassiope from Iowa, and Davison of Northwestern. Final seconds in the second period. Kerkvliet will have choice.
working against the freshman Greg Kerkvliet. We thought this would be an advantage situation for Mason Parris, but you know, this is a different man at this weight class right now. 30, 40 pounds bigger right now at this stage, and it'll be tough to keep down. A great job. Beautiful changeover right there. Notice how he didn't reach for the switch. He went back and put weight on his hands and made the hip over and away turn. Oh. Now a shot by Parris. Has him a little bit off balance there, but nice job.
Underhook.
Coming up with the underhook there.
Center, guys! Center!
And that was a great escape, and Parris came right back in with some purpose.
Yep, now a swing single. Both guys doing a good job of fighting off that shot, their shots.
These guys are so strong.
Well, they're going to call Kerkvliet for stalling because he did kind of back right off the mat. Good awareness by Parris.
Keep that in mind. Kerkvliet was stalling.
Yeah, so now Kerkvliet back down on that wrist. You see Parris kind of get out of that wrist.
Offense!
Trying to roll his wrist out here to keep that left hand free.
Fingers, guys! Red warning!
Straight on shot to go behind.
For Parris, and he's got the takedown.
Good job of coming back into that 2-on-1. He finds the wrist on the way around. Huge takedown there. Did a good job of measuring it. But you saw the purpose, and he wasn't allowing himself to get tied up with that left wrist. He didn't allow his left wrist to get tied up, and now he's in a position to win this match.
Mason Parris looking to stay undefeated.
Good job of turning the hips there and following. And again, you can't be too flat on your shoelaces right there, or something like that happens here. Where he drives back into you. Good work there by Parris. He's breathing hard, trying to stay in this top position, but you can't ride him with your biceps alone. You got to move your feet.
Mason Parris, this third period takedown, that's been the difference. Mason Parris, now 18-0 as he knocks off Greg Kerkvliet. This, folks, is a rivalry at heavyweights.